Welcome to Coffee in the Barn, where every cup tells a story. With a rotating lineup of hosts, we invite you to join us as we explore the diverse challenges and triumphs of modern life and the heart of agriculture. From the fields to the classroom, from innovators to everyday visionaries, each episode brings a fresh perspective and a new voice. So brew yourself a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's uncover the stories that shape our lives, our farms, and our communities.
Welcome to this week's episode of Coffee in the Barn with Morgan and Casey. This week we're going to be talking with two employees of Animistic that have moved to the U.S. from different backgrounds and kind of the personal journeys and challenges that they've had to work through as they've moved from a different country to the United States.
And I'm going to jump in here, Morgan, because I thought this would be a good topic and I could pick on my employees and let everybody get to know them better. But as most people know, I work with a lot of international students. And so I thought this was kind of a really important topic because I get a lot of questions. How do I come to the U.S., the journey? And it's really cumbersome and difficult. So I'm hoping Veronica, or we call her Vero, and Chantel will discuss their challenges. So just the insight, and I'll let them introduce themselves. But Chantel and I have known each other since I've almost started the company 5 years ago. And she hails from South Africa. And then Vero has been with me for 3 years, and she hails from Ecuador. But both are now officially in the United States. So with that, Chantel, I'll let you introduce yourself first since I've known you the longest, and give a little bit about your background and a little bit about you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me today. I'm really excited. It's the second time I've been on your podcast now, so really excited to be back. This time being in the US, really exciting. So obviously everybody knows my name is Chantel Pennicott. I'm from South Africa. Currently, I am the nutritionist and R&D manager here at Animistic. I've been working for Animistic just over a month now, although I've known Casey for quite a few years. My background is in pig nutrition and simulation modeling, but I do have experience with equine, poultry, pets now as well, working with Casey. And then something about me is that I'm a trail runner, so really happy to be here in the Ozarks mountain range. Plenty of mountains to run on, so really happy to be here.
And we're happy to have you. How about you, Vero?
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. Thanks for having me here, too. It's kind of weird being on this side of the curtains. Normally work behind the curtains on the podcast, but thank you. It's exciting to be here. Well, as you know, I'm here now in LA. I'm here with my daughter, and well, now a little bit of me. I have a bachelor's degree on social communication, and I do all things about social media designing or email marketing and stuff like that. Yeah, on my spare time, I like reading books and used to jog. Used to go for good runs, but not anymore. I had a knee surgery, so I had to stop that. But I'm okay.
And I was going to say, everybody who thinks we look really good out there, it's because of Vero. So I do have input, but she makes sure things get done.
Maybe Chantel, I'll start with you because I think you've been in the U.S. for 3 years now. What kind of brought you or motivated you to move to the U.S. From South Africa?
That's a question that a lot of people ask me. There's not a straightforward answer. But basically, my background being in animal nutrition, I've always been really passionate about nutrition, but I've also really been passionate about animal welfare and connecting the dots between those two. So I really wanted to advance my career, my education, and my experience. And in order to do that, I needed to move overseas. Meeting with Casey, while I was working at the Bainsfield Swine Research Unit and met Casey during one of her online courses, we connected from there on, and she basically connected me with the University of Arkansas in the Center for Food Animal Wellbeing. And I thought that was a great opportunity to connect nutrition and welfare and physiology and help with gaining some skills in the lab as well, not just animal research on the ground, but some laboratory skills is always a plus. So basically everything just lined up perfectly, pretty much, that, when life opens doors, it kind of just seemed like it had to be the right step. So.
Well, wonderful. I'm glad Casey was able to help you kind of make that transition, through the university and now, into the workforce, real life, the stepping stone. Vero, I know you most recently just moved to the United States within the last year or so, are relatively new. What kind of was your biggest motivator to get to the United States? I know you mentioned you're here with your daughter, and I'm guessing that's probably was part of it.
Yes, well, we came here January 18th this year. So we're here just a month ago. Yeah. I think we wanted better opportunities, like professionally and personally for me and my daughter. Back home, things like, I think they were becoming a bit stagnant, and maybe I feel like I reached a ceiling in terms of growth. So my father has been living here for many years, and he always told me about the possibilities here in the U.S., diversity, the education system, and maybe the chance to build something from scratch. So when the opportunity came, we took it.
Is your father in LA, or did you just choose LA for a certain reason?
No, he's been living here for many years. Yeah.
So your father's in LA too. That's what took you to LA.
Mm-hmm. He's here. Mm-hmm.
Or she'd be in Arkansas.
Sometimes I always wonder why, like, people that move from out of the country into the United States, why they pick the different places that they live. So
she said she didn't move to Arkansas because her dad's in LA. So
people always ask me, why Arkansas? That's the last place that they would think of. And I'm like, well, Northwest Arkansas is a little bit different to Flatland, Arkansas. Not that there's anything wrong with Flatland, Arkansas, but the opportunities here are really great. So I agree with Vero on that one for sure. Mm-hmm. It's really nice that, Vero, you had your dad here. I moved here not knowing a single being and never ever having come to the United States ever. So it was a big jump.
It was quite the probably the culture shock there, Chantel. Was like, what was the biggest thing that surprised you, I guess, from moving once you moved to the United States?
Besides the crazy weather here in Northwest Arkansas, where we can have 40 degrees Celsius jumps in one day. I don't even know how much Fahrenheit that is. I should know that by now. But besides the weather, I would say let's go with the negative thing first. It would be the cost of living is so much higher. That was a huge adjustment for me. I didn't realize how expensive things would be. I mean, at home, it's very expensive relative to minimum wage. But here, maybe it's just because I'm converting dollars to rands in my head all the time. The cost of living just seems very high. Another adjustment maybe would be just the culture and the people. It's very much like within the industry, once you're within a sector, everyone kind of sticks together. Whereas back home, everybody knows everybody. And maybe that's just me coming from a smaller farm into what I would call a big city. Although Fayetteville maybe isn't a big city to a lot of people, it is to me. So yeah, lots of things that were a big adjustment.
Well, maybe we get some fresher adjustments for Vero 1 year in, or not 1 year. That was 3 years in, 1 month. Like, what's been the biggest shock and awe to you when you arrived?
I think the biggest shock has been traffic laws, because I thought it's not just like you drive like in your country. Here is very different. All the freeways and traffic laws and no green arrows to turn. For me, was shocking.
Did you pass, Vero? Did you pass your driver's test?
Oh, I'm taking it next week.
Oh, next week. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had to pay to practice. I've been practicing with my dad, and another guy is going to take me to practice that too, because I'm nervous. Yeah,
that's something I forgot about. I forgot that I had to do a driver's test. Yeah, that was a big adjustment. Driving for 10 years and then having to go redo your test again is very stressful, more so than the first time, because you get all these bad habits. So I feel for you, Vero. I actually forgot about that. So much has happened in 3 years.
Casey, your mission has always been about helping people moving from surviving to thriving. How does Animistic embody this, and how have you helped the employees as they've made those transitions?
Oh, wow. I have a soft spot. I wear my heart on the sleeve. I don't, either way you want to describe myself, but I even feel like I'm living the American dream, and I would say I'm probably 4th, 5th generation, depending on how far you want to go back. And I feel like I'm finally living the American dream, and first generation to go to college, first doctor in my family. And, my career has taken me to growing up with social anxiety, working with animals because people scared me. Animals teaching me to love people. And, even if you ask my parents or people who know me, they would have never thought I'd get on a plane and travel the world. And it was a tremendous opportunity to meet people of all different cultures and realize how wonderful people are and how we're all good and we're very similar, but yet very different. And then meeting people who didn't have the same opportunities as I did. And I feel like it's 2025 now. And I'd like to see some rise in equity for a lot of people and give people opportunities, talented people that want to work hard and be able to live the dream. If I wasn't married and had a child, wouldn't have a problem moving across the world like my friend Fariba just did. But yet I know how challenging that is. I worked with a lot of international students working at the university and seeing them come here and then staying and becoming a valuable part of our industry, and the friendships and the value they bring us has been incredible. And so I've always wanted to help people. Chantel, I helped previously as an intern. She told me about her desire to come here. I found her a job. Her husband actually worked for a company in Northwest Arkansas. So for the position I found her, it worked out well. Who knew on the same type of visa she had, she could actually come work with me, or I would have hired her like 3 years ago and been further ahead probably. But we live and learn, right? And I guess that's the biggest challenge of fighting the visas, finding the positions, either it's for graduate school or jobs, is very challenging. I go into a lot of the content we've shared on the Roll P3 and now on Coffee in the Barn, that the way we treat migrant workers or especially Hispanic workers, I don't think it's been right in my career. I don't feel like they've had a voice. So I've tried to give them a voice. And with that means Animistic. I don't just talk about it, I actually do it. So I do fund and I help Bernard's family out. He's finishing his PhD, financially where I can, emotional support. Chantel doesn't have a family, but that's a lie because I'm her family here. And same with Vero, right? So Vero is now my family here, and there's nothing I would do. I sacrifice my profits. I sacrifice my own salary to help my employees achieve their dreams. And I think either one of them would probably tell you that I've done that for them. And so that's just living my mission. And here are two beautiful examples of that working out.
I know Casey just hit, a lot of high points on the culture and the values of Animistic, but how, in your guys' eyes, Chantel and Vero, how has Animistic supported the both of you as you've made that professional and personal change from, your home countries to now the United States?
Well, I'm deeply grateful to Casey for the opportunity to work with her. Back in Ecuador, I worked remotely for Animistic, and now I'm in the US, and I'm still part of the team. So, this job has helped me grow, especially I think improving my English and developing my skills in marketing and social media design and stuff. And I think Casey has truly helped me thrive, not just by trusting me with responsibilities, but encouraging me to keep learning. I believe great people aren't just those with titles, but those who lift others up. And I think Casey has been that kind of mentor to me.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
I cry now.
I mean, I couldn't say it really much better than Vero. Casey has been a family member to me, not just my boss now. But whether I've worked for Casey or not worked for Casey, she's always been there to support me, whether that's just to talk or to help me through visa stuff or tax. I mean, I've navigated in a new country, navigating new paperwork and stuff. Casey's always my number one person that I go to for anything personal or work related. So Casey really is there to lift people up and makes you feel like a family member and not just an employee through positive reinforcement. So she really pushes you in all the right ways.
What's better than a great cup of coffee? A great coffee mug to match your personality while you listen to the next episode of Coffee in the Barn. At By Blackett, we've got mugs that'll make you laugh, smile, and show off your unique style, all while keeping your coffee warm. Whether you're into heartwarming messages or hilarious designs, there's something for everyone. Plus, every purchase supports Coffee in the Barn and helps us keep bringing you the content you love. So grab your next favorite mug today. Visit buyblackett.com/animistic and use the promo code animistic for exclusive deals. Let's type that out because there's two T's in this. So the website again is www.buyblackett.com/ANIMISTIC. Buy Blackett. Funny mugs, unique vibes, and you're supporting your favorite podcast.
Yeah, I think we can all, Casey's been a part of our lives in many different facets over the, 5 to 10 years that we've been working with her. And, I would echo what you guys have both said, along my journey with working with Casey as well. Kind of shifting gears a little bit, sometimes a lot of the challenges that people have to overcome when they move to the US or a different country than where they're originally from aren't really talked about. And so specifically, Vero, you're recently new to the US. What are some of those challenges or difficulties that you, I guess, weren't really aware of prior to moving to the US? I know you highlighted on, the point of having to get take your driver's test again, which can be a little daunting where, you're in a country where the signs mean completely different things than what they do back at home. But is there anything else that's been a little bit more challenging as you've made this shift?
Yes, maybe the emotional struggles. I live with my mom like my whole life, and leaving her, and she's aged now. That's been difficult to me. Also, I think feeling a little lost here, don't know what to do or how to get my ID, or I don't know, the social security number or stuff like that. Or maybe on this side, missing the small comforts from home, the connections that I had with family, friends, the challenge here of making like real connections. It's not just about adapting to a new place, but also about redefining your identity in a different culture. Maybe that, yeah.
How are you staying connected, with your mom or with family and friends back at home?
Well, now, thanks to technology, it's easier.
Right.
You're just one call away, one message away, and now it's really easy, and somehow you feel them close to you. Yeah.
Chantel, for you, was there any like crazy challenges or difficulties when you first came over?
It's actually really nice listening to Vero because her challenges, every single one she listed, I felt, and you do feel alone. But now I realize that you're actually not alone. There's so many people that are new to this country, or even just not this country, moving around the world. You're not alone in how you're feeling. And I think it's really important not to lose your identity. This past weekend, I found a South African store, and my husband and I went in there and we went crazy and ate a whole bunch this weekend, and we're in food comas, just eating food from home. But besides that, just making food from home, your traditional dishes, I feel really helps us, and just keeping up with those traditions, keeping in touch with family. My family, most of my family don't live in South Africa. So I left South Africa without many family members there anyway. They're mostly in Europe. So that wasn't the difficult part for me, but the time difference between the countries is quite difficult to keep in touch with family as well, and friends back home. I mean, it's 8 hours difference. So that's been a big adjustment. But yeah, just staying true to yourself, finding your identity. Vero does get easier almost 3 years in, and I still feel a little bit lost, but it does get better over time.
And I'll just speak on both their behalves. Is our freaking immigration policies and visas is a nightmare. And we all should write our congressmen and senators to get this fixed. And so many of them used it as political bandstanding or whatever BS over the last 2 decades, right? We need to fix our immigration. We need to be able to bring talented people here, and we need to make a clear process, an affordable process, because there's a lot of lawyers that also take advantage of hardworking people that drag out processes, the costs, right? Because there's no clear path to do that. And, Vero waited probably over 3 years before she got her green card to come here, even though her dad was from here and is a citizen. Chantel, like I said, I had no clue that I could have hired her under the scholar visa 3 years ago, or we would have had her here long before trying to find her a position, right? So there's a lot of good people that want to come here or stay here, and it's very challenging for me to help them. I mean, Liliana is another great example, is that she's been here a long time. Her kids are all born here, but her husband was on a TN visa, and she was a supporting spouse. So she couldn't legally work for us until she got her green card. PhD from Texas A&M, her husband's working here, but yet can't work. And she's talented. We're losing out on that talent. And I can go on and on about all the stories, but our immigration policies suck, and there's not really good alternatives, even that Chantel's finding coming here of how can I stay here because I value this. I'm not done living my dream. I'm not done growing, and yet we don't have a clear process for them. So that's my bandwagon for the audience, but I feel very passionate about it no matter what country they come from, that there's some really incredible people. All of our families were immigrants, and we should help them want to live the American dream. We should still value and hope that we still have that American dream to live as well.
Yeah, Casey, I agree. I mean, I understand the need for immigration policies and having those in place, but it just seems so convoluted. And being here almost 3 years, I'm still learning new things about my own visa, like you were saying. So it seems like the rules bend and change, and it just depends on who you ask. And resources are not very great, and it's very expensive. And that's what I was referring to earlier. So it really is a pity, because I know so many educated people who can really add value to the country.
Chantel, you mentioned that I think you moved here with your husband, correct?
Yes.
And, Casey was that stool, that third leg to kind of help you in the transition, moving to the U.S. But have you been able to find support systems within like your community or church or whatnot since you have came over?
Yes, I would say for any new person coming over, and Vero, I'm not sure, I've only just met you, but what your hobbies are is to go find a club that does something you like to do, any community stuff, because all my friends that I've made here have either been my neighbor to my house, someone I work with, or someone I run with. So really joining a club or just getting out of your comfort zone and volunteering and things like that. You really meet some amazing people, and that's where I've met most of my friends here.
Are there some like strategies or things that you've implemented within your lifestyle that has helped your transition to the United States be a little bit smoother? I know you mentioned like cooking meals from home. Anything else that you guys have done?
I mean, well, the only things we could bring from home is just staying in touch with family and cooking things from home. With regard to transition, I mean, it's difficult to say that. I would say, okay, yes, because the people that I've met here, what's helped with the transition is maybe sharing stories with them from home, making them understand our perspectives and things. That's been quite a big adjustment, is different perspectives of the world. People with different upbringings always will have a different perspective. So sharing stories maybe is another way we've tried to adjust. And we've just got a new puppy, so we officially have a dog child, and that's helped us adjust to being here. And yeah, it's difficult to say because it's a completely different place. So there's only so much you can bring with you.
And Vero, for you, is there anything that's helped with your transition over the last 5 weeks?
Well, besides what Chantel said, I think, I don't know.
What's it like living with your dad versus your mom?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's very, very different, very different. But I thank my mom because she always, she introduces to the Korean food. So we really like it. And then here we enjoy Korean food even more than back in my country. We have a Korean market here. And then on that side was not like so difficult because my dad is from South Korea and my mom is Ecuadorian. The food is so different. But I know both sides. So with that, it's not been difficult to adapt. Because my dad, he married again. So his wife always has Korean food here at home. So smells, tastes, and textures and everything is different. But it's not hard for me. I really enjoy it and love. And that's been like, there's a special word. Well, I just forgot.
I'm coming to visit for dinner because I bet you have a lot better Korean food than we do in Arkansas.
I feel like there's a lot more options in LA.
Well, we could probably serve up quite a bit of Ecuadorian type food here, but not as really good Korean.
Well, I'm glad we have here really, really, really nice Korean food. So that on that side transition has been smooth and nice.
Well, as you guys continue your journeys here in the U.S., where do you kind of see yourself in the next 5 years, Chantel?
That feels like an interview question. Where I see myself in the next 5 years. So being here almost 3 years, you think like day to day or week to week, are you making no progress or in transitioning here and things like that? But then looking back 2.5 years ago, and I'm like, wow, when we got here versus now, we've made such big adjustments. So who knows 5 years from now, but starting officially full-time with Casey now has really helped me sort of shape the future, because before that it was quite unknown. But Casey and I have some really great business ideas that'll hopefully be up and running full steam in 5 years' time, being full-scale businesses. So that's going to be really great. It's the first time I've ever thought that I could be part of a part business owner in another country. Hopefully I will have my green card by then as well, or should I say. And just building more community, maybe living in a different house further out of town. My husband and I really enjoy farm style living, so hopefully that will happen in 5 years. Maybe another dog.
It's a step process. And Vero, what about you? I know you're kind of just, your feet are still wet in moving and whatnot, but where do you kind of see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, I also hope to feel fully settled here in the U.S., standing around too with my daughter. I don't know. I would like to pursue maybe a new career path now that I'm here, and I know I have my dad's support. I don't know. Who knows? It can be different from what I'm doing like right now, but I don't know. Maybe building a life, continue to learn, growth, and contribute in meaningful ways.
Well, I was going to say, we're hoping to, now that she's here officially and her new branding she just did, we're going to hopefully get her some awards here, and people will be seeking her out for her design skills.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we're just kind of wrapping up things here. Do you guys have any final thoughts, Chantel or Vero, on advice for others that are chasing their dreams to move to a new country or start a new career path or anything new in that sense?
Yeah, I mean, any big jump in life, I've always been a risk taker, but it's okay to be scared and to do it anyway. Not to have everything planned out is also okay, but having some form of planning so that you're not going backwards and having to go back home or something like that, just having those sort of things planned out, but you don't have to have every single little thing planned out. So it's okay to feel out of place, and it does get better. So don't be afraid to chase your dreams, chase your careers, and advance your life in that way. Even if it's not a new country, but a new job, anything like that. So just push yourself, and I think it'll be worth it.
Vero, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah. Well, embracing change is always challenging, but growth comes from stepping out of your comfort zone. So you just have to be, I guess, patient with yourself, and also celebrate small wins, and don't be afraid to ask for help. They would be it.
Oh, those are all good ones. Thank you guys for joining us today on Coffee in the Barn. And enlightening us, and hopefully for those that are listening that are either transitioning to a new country, moving to the US, starting a new job, some of the advice and things that you heard on today's episode will help you navigate your struggles and the things that you have to overcome as you move forward.
And I just want to say I'm proud of these two brave women that are working for me, and I'm glad they're here. I'm glad they're going to change our country for the better, and hopefully in turn, make our world better.
Thank you for having us and letting us speak and letting us connect. I'm so glad that I've connected with Vero now. I feel like I have someone to connect with at work, more and more people. So it's really nice to hear somebody else's perspective, coming from a completely different country to a completely different place in the US, but still feeling the same. It definitely makes me feel not so alone. So really glad for this opportunity.
Yeah, I'm glad for this opportunity to thank you for this invitation. It's been so nice sharing with you our feelings and thoughts. Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks again. And for those that are listening, catch our next episode of Coffee in the Barn with Morgan and Casey.
And in the meantime, stay caffeinated.
Mm-hmm.